how does basic order fulfillment work? So when your cargo arrives to the United States, generally, whether that is via air freight, ocean freight, whether it's truck, whatever the case might be, and it comes into your distribution point, one of the very first things that has to happen generally is that if the freight requires an inspection. So let's say we're coming full truckload of material or a full container of material backing up to the dock door. Typically what you see upon opening that is a basic inspection. Has this been tampered with? Is the seal still intact? So each container or truck will have a seal on it, and that seal has a certain number that comes directly from overseas and is on the documents, whether that's the bill of lading or whether that's your customs delivery order. So you would start that inspection process there. You inspect your seals. Upon removal of the seals, you move into your receiving process where you're directly receiving the freight. So that requires, in all cases, the freight gets unloaded. So whether your container is floor loaded or palletized, you go through a process where you unload it, you stack it up on the pallets, or you unload the freight, and then you do a further inspection that in a lot of cases will include a direct one-to-one count. And then you may do a quality inspection, which consists of, does this good, match what our paperwork says it is? And if it does the quantity match? This includes kind of the second part of the process, which is sorting, because in a lot of cases, the goods arrive mixed together to maximize the space inside the container of which they ship. So this requires your warehouse or 3PL to do a sorting process to segregate the goods into disseminations of a like kind altogether. And then once you do that, you do a systematic receipt of the goods to bring them into your warehouse management system. So that way the inventory shows up as available for sale. Then the goods are transported to their storage shelf, whether they're stored directly in a single bin position or whether they're stored in a bulk bin position. Just kind of depends on what exactly the goods are and what the commodity is. So then from that point, your goods sit on the shelf and kind of wait for orders to come through, essentially. So traditionally, when your goods are coming in, the goods that you just brought in aren't the goods that you sell. What you would want to do is sell any existing goods first. So that way you're doing kind of a first in, first out system to keep a few different things in place. One of those is revision control. So if you want to sell the older ones first, so that way if you have any sort of known failure method or issue with the good as it goes to market, then that way you can control which goods have hit the market and you can ensure what revision you're looking at to have that scope of the issue with. It also allows you to maintain the quality, because anytime you're storing goods in a warehouse and they're just sitting with humidity and all of those kind of things that can potentially affect your packaging, no matter what, best case, breaks down over time. So you want to ensure your goods stay inside a warehouse in a stored position for as little time as possible, and that the oldest goods are always being sold first for that reason. The next part of the process going into step 2 is the order placement. So once the order is placed, whether that is through some sort of e-commerce website where you're shipping directly to an end user, or whether that is a PO order placement where you're sending bulk quantities, then the order is generated on your website. We would go into whatever that is, whether it's a .com website like Woot or Zola or Commerce Hub or Amazon, and retrieve that order from there from our warehouse management system, create all the compliance related labeling and pick orders for the material. From there, the order goes out to the warehouse floor, and the picker takes the order in queue and picks the order, packs the order, labels the order with any appropriate labeling, places it on a pallet, and then the pallet gets shrink wrapped and put together with any other orders which could possibly go in that PO channel, whether it's just a single unit or whether it's multiple units. And then it gets loaded into a queue to await the outbound transportation. If we're talking about something like a small parcel order, which is going directly to an end user, whether it's UPS, FedEx, DHL, USPS, which is the post office, a lot of times your good will go directly into the truck upon its picking. Now, there may be 1,000 other orders like that order going to different destinations, but you would go pick that order with a bunch of other like orders, label it appropriately to go to its destination. Then it would get placed in the truck with a bunch of other orders which go to that, let's say it's UPS, go to a sort facility, and then that night it gets sorted and sent out directly to your customer. If it's something like an LTL order or an FTL order, full truckload, less than full truckload, your pallets of orders would get picked based on the PO that they ship to, which is primarily dictated by the destination that they're shipping to in the vast majority of cases, but not all cases. You can potentially have multiple POs going to multiple direct distribution points. But in the case of that, you would have the orders all picked together, wrapped up together, and then labeled with the compliance labeled. If it's multiple pallets, it'd be pallet 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, whatever the case might be is. And then the carrier would be scheduled to come and pick up that material. And generally speaking, in that case, they wouldn't come just to pick up your material. Any good 3PL would be leveraging, that pickup against multiple other pickups and multiple other channels to get you the best possible price point. And then the orders go directly out to either your distributor or your end user. So in a nutshell, that's order fulfillment at a high level through all of the channels.
Fantastic explanation, Mark. Thank you very much. I do have a couple questions that came in. The first question is, you were just talking about the carrier. Is Scarborough also able to arrange that LTL and FTL to the end user for our company?
Yeah, absolutely. So Scarborough has relationships with pretty much every nationwide carrier in every kind of method possible. So we have the ability to arrange transportation for all of those cases, ensure those pickups are met, and all of the compliances related to the pickups are met. And then provide back not only the bill of ladings and all of that information from the pickups, but the tracking information both directly to the supplier and directly to the end user as well.
Fantastic. I'm going to add to that as well. Scarborough also has a really great LTL pricing tool that is a smart pricing module. So you can enter your information and basically get in their 24/7 online portal and get several different carriers' rates. And you can kind of piggyback on some of our rates too, that we have excellent contracts with several different carriers. So definitely reach out to us if you want to take advantage of that. The next question that came in is asking if, and I'll take this one, if Scarborough can also handle the import transportation for any of the goods that need to go into the fulfillment center. And the question, or the answer is, of course we do. That's something that Scarborough prides itself on, is its U.S. customs brokerage and import transportation. We have multiple carrier contracts, as well as some really cool consolidation programs that really set us apart from other freight forwarders. So definitely talk to us about that if you're interested, and we will help walk you through that as well.